This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, May 12th, 2006, and this is episode number 99 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hochberg from mgmstudios.org. On today's panel is a man who is on a streak of one Disney World marathon without hurting himself, Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com. Welcome, Mike.
No privacy at all around this place.
Mike Orville Scopa.
And in tow, we have Len Testa of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome, Len.
How's it going, Matt?
Outstanding. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about decadent dining. And this is, I think Mike Scopa, you might be the best person to explain exactly what we mean by decadent dining.
Yeah, I could just kick back for the rest of the episode, right? I mean, can I just do my one thing and be done? Or no?
Well, I'll call you out on that in a second.
I'll be drinking in the background. Please continue.
Well, I mean, the idea comes, the idea comes from the notion that when people go to Walt Disney World, they're on vacation. And they kind of do things that they normally wouldn't do. Grown men will wear funny hats. Women will hug human beings in fur costumes. And a lot of us will, I will have that dessert. I'll have this because I'm very good all year long, and this is my vacation. So I thought it would be fun for us to talk about what kind of decadent desserts we shoot for when we go down there.
Well, I want to also say that Len, who's pretending to play this off like he's not going to say anything this show, the first time I went with Len to the Magic Kingdom at, what was it, about 10 o'clock in the morning? The man who claimed...
You're going there. You're going there.
Yeah.
Wait, I was in training, too. Remember, this was December. I was training for the half marathon.
Yeah, the half marathon. So he goes, this is like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. He's like, guys, who wants to get breakfast? All right, I'll get breakfast. So we're on Main Street, USA in the Magic Kingdom. And where does Len immediately make a beeline for? The confectionery at the Magic Kingdom, and he goes...
like I had to show you where it was,
yeah.
Right?
Well,
like you'd never been there before.
I'm totally...
Hello, Mrs. Pot,
myself,
it's the kettle. You're black.
No, I am. I'm just calling you out because you're trying to pretend like you're not. But his sister manned the fudge counter, while Len took over, took control of the self-serve aspect of the confectionery.
It was, what did we have? We had like 6 Wonka bars. I think, would you have 1 or 2?
Or 6.
Or 6. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're like, I'm eating, I remember I had a Crunch Wonka bar. I had caramel, because anything with caramel is good.
Yep. And
then I had a regular milk chocolate, which was great.
And then your sister got about 8
different
variations of fudge from the...
and we were all like, God, the fudge is too rich. Never mind, I can't eat that. Who had the bottle of water? And we're like, does we have like a Diet Coke or anything?
Bottle of water.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think by noon we had consumed our entire caloric intake for the day in chocolate. But there was some rice in it, so I had a grain, some sort in mind.
Well, saying that, I think I'll go first with this, and Len already mentioned it, and my first and foremost choice is Wonka bars. Every time I go there, I get about as many Wonka bars as I can charge on a room card. And as Christina Testa has often said, I resemble Augustus Gloop when I consume those bad boys down there. I love them, and I can't find them anywhere except for Walt Disney World. So that's my number one decadent meal, if you want to call it that. Scopa, what's your? I think I know what your number one is, but why don't you go?
It depends upon my mood. I actually have about 5, but I'll talk about one of them right now, and that is the No Way Jose, which is offered at Beaches and Cream at the Beach and Yacht Club. It's a peanut butter and hot fudge delight with chocolate and vanilla ice cream, peanut butter and chocolate morsels, whipped cream, and a cherry. It's a huge goblet of ice cream, and it's very, very nutritional the night before a race. And it goes for about $7.99, and you really need to make sure that you have it's not one of those desserts where you can have it follow a meal. That is a meal in itself, but it's one of my probably 5 favorite decadent dining treats down there.
That sounds good. I gotta try that out the next time I'm down there.
1 of 5, probably. Like there are others that could make the list, but tough to say.
Yeah, right. Len, what's one on your list?
Well, you've already done the chocolate bar thing, although I will save mine for later. One of the best desserts I've ever had was at Citricos at the Grand Floridian. They did this banana cheesecake that was phenomenal. It was light, but not not frothy. It was more. It wasn't really dense like a lot of cheesecakes are. It's just the right consistency, slightly warm, and they had banana flavor on it, and then like a caramelized banana sauce drizzling over it. The really crunchy cinnamon graham cracker side or crust with a hot cup of like really good Colombian coffee. I could have eaten that for dinner. It was one of those things where we each ordered the same dessert, and everyone got quiet at the table. And I know it. I knew because I was with Bob and I was with Robert Feder from the Chicago Sun-Times. We both looked up we all looked up at the same time, and we thought, "Are you going to finish that cheesecake?" Because if you're not, I might. And had the restaurant not been closed, I mean, literally, like there were 6 waiters standing around us saying, just saying, "Is there anything else we can get you this evening?" I would have ordered it again. So banana cheesecake, phenomenal.
I got a feeling that just as you were saying that, I got a feeling that your sister would have been an excellent guest for this show.
Oh, Christina.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she's pretty good about beating people up and taking their food.
It's well documented.
Yeah, that's what I hear anyway. Heard something about it somewhere in some show. something about something. So anyway,
one of my favorites is it's a very common dessert item, but I love the chocolate covered Rice Krispie treats, the Mickey Mouse shaped ones that they offer almost at all the resorts. They're also in the parks in some different places, but that's my breakfast right there, which always gets me on a great start for the day.
Get the little back of your head starts getting really warm. That and then like a couple cups of coffee.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, God's talking to you. It's really good.
Yeah, it's a great way to start your vacation, because really, Mike had said this before in describing the show. I mean, when you go to Disney World, a couple things go out the window: budgets and diets. And,
oh yeah.
I mean, you go there. I mean,
the airport.
I mean, when you go to Disney World, though, I mean, a lot of you go there, and a common thing is you don't think the same way you think outside the parks. Because when you're outside the parks, if you go to a restaurant, you say, "Oh well, I really don't need to get dessert," or I'm gonna get salad instead. But when you're here, it's like, we get extra fat on the side for this?
Yeah, just like a scoop of lard. Yeah,
can we fry the salad that comes with this meal? I mean, it's true.
I think the longer you stay, the less willpower you have.
And you know what? That's true. It's probably something. It's like a Pleasure Island kind of thing, where there's something in the food that instead of turning you into donkeys, they just turn you into fat people.
Gluttons.
But
it's true.
It is, and I guess a lot of people. I mean, I probably rationalize and say, "Well, I've been walking around the park, so I can afford to have 5 desserts today and Wonka bars." I mean, come on. That's easily burned off I stood in the standby line as opposed to the fast pass line. I mean,
come on, really? What kind of sacrifices do you expect me to make? Yeah, I mean, that the Wonka bars they're just like Cliff's bars or protein bars, but just without the protein. So come on.
That's a good way. I never rationalized it that way.
Exactly. I really like in terms of chocolate bars, though, in the UK pavilion. We talked about this on a previous episode, but you can get the Cadbury chocolate bars.
Oh, yes.
That you can't get elsewhere in the United States.
Yes, my girlfriend loves those bars. Anything from Cadbury. It's just a very rich kind of chocolate that you can't get in the United States. Never mind.
Yeah,
from
it's like extra
Cadbury.
sweet too. Yeah.
Yeah. What's next on your list, Scopa?
Well, a few years ago, I decided to try the Portobello Yacht Club. Speaking of Pleasure Island, and on the menu was a dessert that I wanted to try, and it's called a cappuccino gelato. Now, it comes to your table in a pewter goblet that has been in the freezer all night long, and it's basically it's a chocolate coffee ice cream with toffee crunch, and it is, as they say, to die for.
Chocolate, coffee, and toffee?
chocolate coffee ice cream with toffee crunch.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's in a pewter goblet.
And do you put your teeth in the pewter goblet when you're done?
Yes.
Is that so you can just do them like clinking around?
But the thing is, it's not like they took a pewter goblet and filled it with ice cream. They took a pewter goblet, filled it with ice cream, and put it in the freezer all night long.
Oh, that's the key.
Very nice.
That's thinking. Yeah, because that metal's really gonna suck in the cold.
Oh yeah. So it doesn't drip. I mean, and what's nice about that is that if you've ever eaten at Portobello, you know that you can eat outside as well as inside. And if you happen to order the cappuccino gelato for dessert, and you're sitting outside, it ain't gonna melt on you, buddy. So
that's smart. That's the kind of stuff I like to see, though, because that's really someone really thinking hard about what the experience should be. I mean, it's not in a china bowl or anything like that. It's not in a glass sort of sundae cup. That's someone really thinking about what ice cream should be like when it's served. It's really, really nice to see.
It's a great meal. I mean, Scopa doesn't mess around. I mean, everything that he
no,
gets,
really. I mean,
we're in the Wonka bars. I mean, he goes right for the throat right there. He doesn't waste his time with conventional desserts.
I gotta say though, I can't think of a dessert that I've had. Well, there's the boardwalk. There's the cookies that we always mention from Seashore Sweets, but they're Selma's cookies now. You can buy them online. Not to say they're not fantastic, but
yep,
sort of took away some of the mystique.
Sure. It helps though when you can only get something at Walt Disney World like the Wonka bars.
Yeah.
I mean, it adds a certain something else to it, which Scopa still hasn't mentioned it, and I thought he was going to mention it off the bat, something else, and I think it's coming up, but but there are certain things that you can only get at Walt Disney World, or at least I've only seen at Walt Disney World, and it makes the trip that much more special because you associate these desserts with going there, and it's one of the things. I mean, you say to yourself, well, us that we've been there so long, it's like, well, I want to go ride, Everest because it's new, and I want to go to this and this, and I also want to go eat this, and this,
All right.
Well, Scope, are you going to let us down, or are you going to say the thing that I think we've been waiting for?
Actually, this is a scoop. I hope everybody's sitting down because it's not what you think it is. You're expecting me to talk about Dole Whip, I guess.
Yes. Well,
in a recent conversation I had with Mr. Tester, we were talking about the size of the Dole Whip soft serve that is.
Hold on.
Our listeners need to sit down. By the way, if you're driving, you need to pull over. If you're standing or running, God forbid you're jogging, you need to stop and find a bench. Go ahead.
Hold on. It's also. I should point out that when we're not on the podcast, we're discussing the serving sizes of ice cream. That's what Scopa is giving.
Like everyone else. I mean, come on.
Go ahead, Scopa.
I just want to make sure that all nursing mothers are putting their babies right down right now.
Down, yeah, near the ground.
It appears, it could be my imagination, but it seemed to me that the Dole Whips are a little bit smaller than what I'm used to seeing at Aloha Isle. So the other day I played a part of a Disney nerd, and I just stood next to Aloha Isle, and I watched for about maybe 15, 20 minutes, guests coming up and ordering either the Dole Whip soft serve or the Dole Whip pineapple float. And it seems to me and the Dole Whip soft serve is $2.89, and I think it's $3 and a nickel, right around $3 a nickel with tax. Well, the pineapple float is $3.49, and it comes to about $3.70, I think, with the tax. But for an extra 62 cents, you get almost, to me, it looks like you get almost 25 to 30% more Dole Whip, plus you get pineapple juice. So, from this day forward, I am just getting the Dole Whip soft serve pineapple float, and I'm not getting the regular Dole Whip.
See, I like the Dole Whip a lot. I'm not a fan of
like switching over to New Coke. Go ahead.
But I don't like pineapple juice. I mean, I know that the ice cream is pineapple flavored, and that's fine. But I don't know if call me weird for it.
I don't like pineapple either. That's why it doesn't do anything for me.
See, I like the ice cream. The ice cream tastes good. I mean, I'm not like Scopa about it, where I camp out over there and have about 10 servings on my bill, every trip. But I like the ice cream. Pineapple juice though turns me off. So I'll waste my money and get the smaller serving.
Let's go. But both of those things are covered under the dining plan for snacks, right?
That is correct. A snack is now anything that is under $4, I believe.
You notice they had to throw the word edible into the fine print for the for the dining plan too. Like, what kind of conversation did you have to have over and over again with guests to the point where somebody said, you know what, we've really got to put the word edible in the fine print?
Well, could it be that some of the guests were asking about a snack that comes with a souvenir cup, maybe?
Well, yeah, but you still have a snack.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to pass off something else. I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was like like a
doll.
keychain.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Keychain.
My last favorite on my list that I can think of right now is I love the Napoleon that you can get in France at the little pastry place over there in Epcot. I love Napoleon, but the Napoleon they have over there in France is so good. You can tell that it's not. I mean,
American made.
Yeah. I mean, it's really made exquisite. I mean, the layers are great. It's a layered cake for those who don't know, and it's very rich.
What's in the Napoleon? Is it like cream between the layers?
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of cream and I want to call them wafers, but I'm not sure what you would actually call them.
So wait, when we switched French fries to Freedom fries, were we change Napoleons to Jeffersons?
Well, I don't know.
No, Van Buren's. All of the Van Buren.
What do we get?
Didn't your girlfriend work in France?
No, All Stars.
Oh yeah, but the other one.
What?
Oh well.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah, there goes one of them.
Oh yeah, one of them. Yeah, I'm gonna say the food tastes better when it's served by someone with a French accent. Come on.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I love practicing my French from high school on them too. Like they're really impressed by the fact that I can say 4 words in it.
Oh, you're trying. It's an attempt, right?
Yeah, right. It's the effort that counts. What's left on your list, Scopa?
Well, let's see. I guess.
Wait, hold on. I'm comfortable. Go ahead.
It's a toss-up right now. It's a toss-up between Dad's Super Sundae at the 50s Primetime Cafe against the original banana split, which is at the Plaza Restaurant. Both about the same price. I think that I'm going to go with the banana split, and I'll tell you why. The Super Sundae, last Mouse Fest, I happened to try the Super Sundae, and I think the ice cream got lost under the whipped cream. I think there was just too much whipped cream there. The Super Sundae is basically, it's a nut brownie, it's got vanilla ice cream, it's got hot fudge, and it's got caramel. But it seemed like it was just smothered in whipped cream. However, what I like about the banana split at the Plaza is that you can say to them, any combination of ice cream, which is great. I mean, they say, okay, it comes chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, and then you say, well, can I have this, this, and this? And they'll say, sure. So you can pretty much make your own banana split combination, which is what I like about the Plaza dessert. So I'm going to go with the original banana split at the Plaza restaurant, and it gives you 3 scoops of ice cream. You top them with hot fudge or strawberry sauce, crushed pineapple, which Matt hates. Chopped nuts.
Can you get caramel? Because for me, ice cream isn't really ice cream unless it's got some sort of caramel sauce on it.
I think you can, Len, but I'm not definitely sure. But I'm pretty sure you can put anything. Sure. You can put ketchup on there, whatever you want. You know.
Is there anywhere in Walt Disney World where they'll do like ice cream mix-ins like they do at Cold Stone Creameries?
I don't know of any. I'm trying to think.
Say that again.
You know what a Cold Stone Creamery is? It's
kind of like a Blizzard from Dairy Queen.
Yeah, but only with cake batter ice cream is really, really good. Have you guys had the cake batter ice cream at Cold Stone?
Yeah.
You
know what I would try, Len? The Fountain View Express at Epcot.
I don't think they would really do that. I like the thing with Fountain View is, for me, I can never get a good piece of cake there.
Oh, they got good ice cream cake there.
They have ice cream cake?
They got ice cream cake there, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I didn't know that, really.
Let me see.
Are you sure? Because usually when I go there, I get, everyone wants chocolate cake, but once you slice the chocolate cake, it starts to dry out. And you don't
slice it, huh?
Yeah, so, it's, you can't pre-slice the cake. You really got to keep it all together.
They have ice cream cake there, $3.29.
ice cream cake. I see a research trip coming up.
I'm pretty sure it's. Now, see, why didn't you ask me this when I was there earlier this week? I could have.
You could have done it for
research
me, yeah.
For you. That's the kind of research I like. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they. I think it's chocolate ice cream cake too.
Chocolate ice cream cake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tough work, Len, but somebody's got to do it.
I told you about the time that I was in. We were doing the Soren media event. It was just me and one other media person there for like 4 hours before the thing started. And so have I told our listeners this?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's me and it's the food critic from the Washington Post, and we're walking around the Land Pavilion, like at 5 o'clock, 3 hours before the media event starts, and the park's closed to everyone. So literally, we're the only 2 non-cast members in the park, and we're walking through the Land Pavilion, and one of the chefs who's doing a soup for Sunshine Seasons, like the Asian noodle bowl, comes running up and says, "Please, madame, please taste my soup and tell me how it is." And so the food critic comes with, tastes like a sip of it, like let's go, it's too salty, spits it out of her mouth, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I will go fix it." And he dumps this whole thing this whole pot of soup that he had made in the back, and starts over like 3 hours ahead of time. But then another chef comes over and starts talking to us, and as he's talking to us, my wife calls me on my cell phone. And so I'm trying to talk to my wife, and he's like gesturing something. Apparently he's got this orange creme brulee that he wants us to try to make sure it's okay. So I actually put my wife on hold. I'm like, "Honey, hold on. Some guy wants me to taste some orange creme brulee. Hold on 1 second, right?" So I put her down, taste the creme brulee. And I'm not a big creme brulee fan, but it was okay. And it was orange flavored. It was very orangey. It tasted great. So I pick up the phone. I'm like, "Yeah, some guy wants me to taste this orange creme brulee. It was good." And there's this long pause on the other end of the phone, and my wife said something like, "If you ever refer to this as work again, I'll kill you in your sleep."
Very nice. That's the life of an unofficial guide researcher.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. Everything else is just slogging through the parks, but every once in a while you get really cool things like that. Have you guys tried the creme brulee over there? My wife is a huge creme brulee fan, and I just don't eat enough of it to know whether it's good anywhere else. I know France has it. Speaking of Match Place, I don't know if your girlfriend's ever served it to me though. I don't know. All right, cool.
While she's checking you into the All-Star, she's also serving you.
That's right.
Well, that's it for us today. This has been episode 99 of Walt Disney World Today. If you want to find older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.wdwtoday.com. You can also email us at questions@wdwtoday.com. For Len Teston, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on episode 100.